Hi, this is Mariel Pabroquez, and I'm going to report about the three topics that I've chosen, which are the Management Information System, Transaction Processing System, and Decision Support System. So first, I'm going to talk all about the Management Information System. So Management Information System is an information system used for decision making and for the coordination, control, analysis, and visualization of information in an organization. So the study of management information system involves people, processes, technology in an organizational context. So the history of the MIS can be divided in five eras identified by Kenneth C. Loudon and Jane Loudon. So the first era are the mainframe and mini-computer computing. The second era, personal computers. The third era, client servers, client or server networks. And the fourth era, enterprise computing. And the fifth era, cloud computing. So there are advantages and disadvantages in MIS. So I'm going to enumerate first all the advantages in MIS. So the advantages are improve an organization's operation efficiency, add value to existing products, and engender innovation and new products development, and help managers make better decisions. Companies are able to identify their strengths and weaknesses due to the presence of revenue reports, employee performance records. Identifying these aspects can help a company improve its business processes and operations, giving an overall picture of the company, acting as a communication and planning tool. The availability of customer data and feedback can help the company to align its business processes according to the needs of its customers. The effective management of customer data can help the company to perform direct marketing and promotion activities. MIS can help a company gain a competitive advantage. And the last one, advantage. The MIS reports can help with decision making as well as reduce downtime for actionable items. So next, I'm going to enumerate the disadvantages of MIS. So there are only two disadvantages of MIS. So the first one is retrieval and dissemination are dependent on technology, hardware, and software. And the last one is potential for inaccurate information. So that's all about the MIS report. So next, I'm going to report the transaction processing system. Okay, so I'm going to report about the second topic, which is transaction processing system. So transaction processing system is a software system or software hardware combination that supports transaction. So there are three types of processing system. So these are the batch processing system, real-time processing system, and transaction processing system. So in batch processing system is is execution of series of programs on a computer without manual intervention. Several several transactions called a batch are collected and processed at the same time. The results of each transaction are not immediate available when the transaction is being entered. There is a time delay. So the examples of batch processing system are clearance, are check clearance. Example is written order asking a bank transfer an amount of money to an account. Second is bill generation, invoice given to a customer for a supplied goods or services. And last one is credit card sales samples. Customers may view credit card transactions as a real time, but the updating is batch. So the second types is the real time processing. So real time system attempts to guarantee an appropriate response to a stimulus or request quickly enough to affect the conditions that cause the stimulus. Each transaction is real time, processing is unique. It is not part of a group transaction. So examples of real time processing system is reservation systems, which are the airline reservations, and point of sales terminals. Use This one is used by the retail stores to sell goods and services. So the last one types of processing system is the transaction processing system. A TPS is a type of information system that collects, stores, and modifies and retrieves the data transaction of a enterprise. Transaction processing systems also attempt to provide predictable responses times to requests, although this is not as critical as for real-time systems. Rather than allowing the user to run arbitrary programs as time sharing. So the next is transaction processing. So there are features in transaction processing system. So the features are performance, continuous availability, data integrity, ease of use, and modular growth. So in the performance, performance with a rapid response time is critical. Transaction processing systems are usually measured by the number of transactions they can process in a given period of time. The continuous availability, the system must be available during the time period when the users are entering transactions. Many organizations rely heavily on their TPS. A breakdown will disrupt operations or even stop the business. Integrity, the system must be able to handle hardware or software problems without corrupting data. Multiple users must be protected from attempting to change the same piece of data at the same time. For example, two operators cannot sell the same seat on an airplane. Ease of use. Often users of transaction processing systems are casual users. The system should be simple for them to understand. Protect them from data entry errors as much as possible and allow them to easily correct their errors. And the last one is the modular growth. The system should be capable of growth at incremental cost, rather than requiring a complete replacement. It should be possible to add, replace, or update hardware and software components without shutting down the system. So that's all about the transaction processing system. So next I'm going to discuss about the last topic, which is the decision support system. Okay, so I'm going to discuss about the last topic, which is the decision support system. So decision support system is an information system that supports business or organizational decision making activities. So DSS serve the management, operations, and planning levels of an organization that help people make decisions about problems that may rapidly changing and not easily specified in advance, unstructured and semi-structured decision problems. Decision support systems can be either fully computerized or human powered or a combination of both. So there are five types of DSS. So these are the communication driven DSS, data driven DSS, document driven DSS, and knowledge driven DSS, and model driven DSS. So in communication driven DSS, enables cooperation, supporting more than one person working on a shared task. Example include integrated tools like Google Docs or Microsoft SharePoint Workspace. In data-driven DSS, it emphasizes access to and manipulation of a time series of internal company data and sometimes external data. So, and in the document-driven DSS, this one manages, retrieves, and manipulates unstructured information in a variety of electronic formats. And the other one is knowledge-driven DSS. This one provides specialized problem-solving expertise stored as facts, rules, procedures, or in similar structures like interactive decision trees and flowcharts. And last one is, which is the model-driven DSS. This one is emphasizes access to and manipulation of a statistical, financial optimization or stimulation model. Model-driven DSS use data and parameters provided by users to assist decision makers in analyzing a situation. They are not necessarily data intensive. So, the development framework. So, the framework of decision support system consists of four phases. These are the intelligence, design, choice, and implementation. So, yeah. So DSS, there are components of DSS that can be classified as inputs, user knowledge and expertise, outputs, and decision. And there are also three fundamental components of DSS architecture, which are the database, the model, and the user interface. So that's all about the decision support system.